All right, I want to welcome everyone to our weekly session, training sessions for RBBS Transport LLC. This is our weekly training, Earn While You Learn, Freight Brokers program. And today we are going to do, like we always do, we're going to have load board training. We're going to go over the do's and don'ts of freight brokering. We're going to discuss the intricacies of, I hope I said that right, the intricacies of double brokering and how to avoid double brokering when you have a setup like ours, where our agents can both broker and dispatch. And we have a huge dispatch division and we have a huge broker division, so we're going to kind of go over and we're going to explain the differences in how to broker and how to dispatch and how not to confuse the two and keep yourself out of trouble from being accused of double broker. We're also going to go over some load board stuff. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 load board and how to operate on there. We're going to go over the Truckers Path load board and how to operate on there. We're also going to cover some cross-broking, and we're going to cover that. And we're going to cover our procedures as far as how to submit your loads when you're submitting loads to us and the contact information that we need when we when you send stuff over to us, okay? All right, let's get started. We're going to go and start off by sharing our screen. We want to welcome everybody to the RBBS Logistics Learning Center weekly freight agent training, which we have every week, every Thursday at 1:15 p.m. Same back channel, same back time as always. All right, let's get started. All right, first of all, let's go over some procedures. Okay, we've been getting quite a few of you have started booking some loads. You've actually started to dispatch some loads, and I want to congratulate you all for dispatching loads. Now, when you are dispatching loads, let's make sure that we understand something. Everything you send in has to go to dispatch at rbbstransport.com. For some reason, a lot of you are forgetting the transport part. It's like, I know I say it, and I know I put it out there that everything goes to dispatch at rbbstransport.com. Hold on.
The recording started.
Right. But everything goes over to rbbstransport.com. Everything goes to rbbstransport.com. So let's make sure that when you're sending loads over, when you're sending information over, you send it over to dispatch at rbbstransport.com. Now, another thing is when you're sending stuff over, let's make sure we get something right here. I want to get something straight here. We want to make sure that when you're sending stuff over, you're sending it over in proper format, okay? This is your proper format. What you all see right here is your proper format, okay? Hopefully everyone can see what we're putting up. Everyone can see our screen, right? If you can, text me in the thing that just says yes, and make sure that everyone can see our screen. If you can see it, just text yes. If you can't, text no. That way I know something, all right? But this is the proper format when you're submitting stuff over to RBBS for your loads, all right? If you have a load, if you book a dispatch load, okay, if you book a dispatch load, okay, when you send stuff over, send it over in this format. Courtney Phoenix has the correct format, and this is how it needs to be sent over, okay? Make sure when you send stuff over, we need, first of all, your information. If you book a load with a broker for one of your carriers on a dispatch, once you book that load, shoot us an email at dispatch@rbbstransport.com. You send that over to us, and you send it over with your information. We need your information, your name, your phone number, your email address, okay? We also need the carrier's info. Put up there, as you can see here, carrier info, the name of the carrier, okay? Preferably the driver's name also too. The phone number, preferably the cell phone number of the driver or the carrier that we can get in contact with them. The email address, and either their MC number or their DOT number, preferably their DOT number. We also need the broker's information. Okay, which means I need the broker's name of the broker's firm, the phone number of the broker you spoke with, the email address, okay, and if you want to, you can put in the pickup date and location and the drop date and location and the rate of what the load is. You don't have to put that, but that would be nice to have. That is the proper format. We need that. We need that, because if we don't have that, then something is going to get lost, and chances are you won't get your pay on time. Okay? And I know you all want to get paid on time. Everybody wants to get paid on time. Everybody wants to get paid when it's time to get paid. That's one thing everybody wants. But if you're not providing us with all the information, our interns are not going to know what you're sending in or who we're supposed to go to. If you're just sending in the carrier's info, okay, all right, great, we got a carrier info. But the interns don't know you all. They don't know you, because we have different interns all the time. So if you just send in just the carrier's info, that intern then has to contact either me or Keon or someone else and say, hey, who has this carrier? And then we've got to track down who has a carrier. Then we got to call one of you all and say, hey, did you just send over something with the carrier? Oh, yeah, that's a load. Okay, that's not going to work. Send all the info. Send all the info so that when the intern gets the info, they can look at this and say, okay, this came from Courtney. Okay, here's the carrier. All right, great. We can call the carrier up, say, hey, Mr. Carrier, Don, you just booked the load with Courtney. Don verifies it. Yes, great. Then we just wait for the confirmation sheet. When we get the confirmation sheet from this broker right here, we'll know what that's for. Because now we're not just getting a confirmation sheet from a broker. We want to know, like, who does this go with? Why? Because if you hadn't sent this, then when we get the confirmation sheet from the broker, all we got to know is we got a confirmation sheet from a broker to pick up a load at such and such place at such and such time, but which agent does that go to? This is what happens. Okay, so let's make it easy and make it where it actually can be, followed through proper procedure so everyone knows what's going on. Because if you just sending over part of the information on that load or part of the information on who's involved with that load, then we've got to do detective work to try and track down who it is. And that takes time. And from that time, that's just inviting mistakes to happen for you not to get your pay on time. So let's do this right the first time and every time. When you're sending stuff over, send over all of the information, just like Mr. Courtney Phoenix has done here. Send over your information, name, phone number, email address. Send over the carrier's information, name, phone number, email address, DOT or MC number. Send over the broker's information, name, phone number, email address, pickup date, drop date, rate, if you can. Make sure we have that every time, and it always goes over to every time dispatch at rbbstransport.com. All right, we got that covered. All right, we got that covered. If you just joining in, don't worry about it. This is recorded. We'll have it up and running by tomorrow. It usually takes about 24 hours for our recordings to process, because we have very long recording sessions, and it takes a while for all this stuff to load up. Okay, but this session is recorded like always. All right, so that should cover everything on how the information should be sent over to us. Any questions on that? Anybody? Anybody have any questions? Randy says, so we download Outlook. Okay, what do you mean by that, Randy? Hold on here, Randy. Let me get to you and unmute you so you can ask that question so everyone can hear it. All right, Randy. Randy? Randy, you done got shy on me? You don't want to talk now? Wow. Randy, can you hear me? Okay, I unmuted you, Randy, but you're not speaking to me. Why is that? Okay, I guess Randy don't like to talk. Oh, he says that it won't let him speak. All right, exactly what do you mean by, you might need to check your mic, Randy, and just turn your mic on. But exactly what do you mean by when you say You need to download Outlook. You don't necessarily need to download Outlook. You know, you can still shoot us emails to Outlook without having to download Outlook. Now, if you want to get a Outlook account, I mean, you can, but that's not necessarily so. You can email, you know, you can email to dispatch@rbbstransport.com from any email address. Okay, but you don't necessarily need to download Outlook. Okay, all right. I hope I answered your question as best that I can understand it. Is there another question? Does anyone else have another question? All right, thanks, Randy. Yeah, all right. Randy says, "Oh, okay, he's good to go." All right. So there's no other questions on where to send the information and how to send the information when you're booking loads or when you have anything that's booked. So when you book something, shoot us an email with your information, carrier's information, broker's information. I need everyone's information who is involved with that load. Everyone who is involved with that load, we need all the information on everyone who's involved with that load each and every time. All right, great. Let's move on. Another issue. Now, some of you may have people who are assisting you. You may have some people who are, you know, doing paperwork for you, who are helping you book loads and things like that. You know, I want to give a shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Marcus, Angela Marcus, and her husband, Mr. Marcus, over at Triple Vision. They are doing great. They have tons of carriers that they have sent in. I think they've got about 8 or 9 carriers that they've sent in that they've signed up so far, and that's great. And obviously, they need some help over there because they've hired some people to help them out with their processing. Now, if you hire someone to help you out with the process, this is very important. I need everyone to understand me. If you've hired someone to help you out with your process, if you hire an assistant or someone of that nature, before you let them start calling brokers or calling shippers on your behalf, they need to understand the do's and don'ts of brokering. They need to understand what is devil brokering and what is not devil brokering. Because if they don't, they can say something that will trigger a shipper or a broker to report us to the Federal Bond Service. Because if you call up a broker and you tell them, I'm booking a load for such and such and such, and then you give them our MC number, that is a no-no. You never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, give a broker our MC number or DOT number. Because when you're calling up a broker for one of their loads, you are definitely not. Let me repeat this. You are definitely not calling to book that load under RBBS Transport LLC. Why? Because we are brokers. And you do not book from another broker using a broker's MC or DOT number. That is the exact definition of double brokering. And that will get us in trouble, and that will get our bond suspended, where no one can operate until they have our bond review, and a bond review can take up to 3 years to give you a bond review. So that could be a death sentence for a business. So let's make sure we understand that. If you have people who are representing you or who are helping you, have them to go back and look at all of our videos. And all of our videos are on YouTube. You can go to our YouTube channel. Show you here. You can go to our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. You know, it's easy to find. You can Google us. We're right there on YouTube. You can go to our Facebook page, find us on YouTube. Everything you need, you can look for us right online and find us. So if you need to start reviewing some of the stuff, I am a big Star Trek fan, so stop looking at my Star Trek stuff. Okay, yes, I am a big Star Trek fan. I'm on the wrong what's called anyway. But anyway, let's get to the what's called here. Show you all the YouTube stuff we have. Oh, here we go. Yeah, now I'm on the right one. Now we're on the right one. Okay, but if you need to see our YouTube channel, look us up on YouTube. We're at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center on YouTube. Okay, That's who we are on YouTube, the RBBS Logistics Learning Center, and this is our YouTube page right here. Just look for RBBS Logistics Learning Center. And all of our videos, all of our training sessions are clearly marked on our YouTube channel. When you get them all pulled up here, see here, let me refresh this real quick so to pull up. But all of our stuff is clearly marked on YouTube for you all to go back and review everything that we have on YouTube. As you can see here, all of our training sessions are clearly marked. You can replay them at any time, pull them up, and make sure you play them. Make sure everyone who's involved with helping you find loads, book loads, if you hire anyone, if you have assistants, make sure they go back and review this stuff and make sure they understand the difference between booking a load as a dispatcher and booking a load as a broker. A real simple way to know you're dealing with a broker. 99.9% of the time, if you're booking a load from the load board, it is a broker. So you do not give that broker, when you call them up to book that load, you do not give them our MC number. You MC number or the DOT number of the carrier that you have just signed a dispatch agreement with. Make sure we understand that. You give them the DOT number or the MC number of the carrier you have just signed a dispatch agreement with. Because at that point, you are not a broker. You are representing the carrier, and the carrier has given you express permission and the authority to find loads for them. So they are grabbing that load under their authority, under their assurance, not under RBBS's authority. The only loads that we grab under our own authority are loads that we have under contract from a shipper. Okay? If you go out and you sign up a shipper, and that shipper signs a contract, and that shipper is sending us over loads every day, those loads are the only loads that we grab under our own DOT number. So in other words, if you find a carrier to run one of our contracted loads, and if that carrier wants to know our MC number, fine, you can give it to them. But you're not going to have to give it to the shipper. Why? Because we're in a contract with the shipper. Shipper already has us under contract. So essentially, you should not be giving out our DOT number to anybody unless it's to a new shipper. Now, if you have a new shipper and they're not a broker, let's make sure we understand this. If you have a new shipper that you have contacted and they are not a broker, if you contacted them on the load board, chances are they're not a shipper, because most shippers don't operate on load board. Brokers do. Okay? Every now and then, you will find a shipper. Every now and then. When I say every now and then, I'm like 1 out of 1,000. You may find a shipper on the load board with a direct load posted directly from the shipper. But a good way to determine that is when you call up these people, ask them straight up, are you a broker or are you a shipper? Just straight out ask them, are you a broker? They say, yeah, we're a broker. Great. I have a carrier, okay, who wants to run one of your loads that I'm dispatching for. If you say to them, are you a broker or are you a shipper? They say, no, we're a direct shipper. Great. We have trucks that can run your loads for you. Listen to what we just did. If you reply in those two different types of scenarios, one way you're letting the broker know what? That you are booking loads for your carrier. The other way you're letting the shipper know that we have trucks that can run not just this load, but all of your loads. So you're kind of setting yourself up for what? A sales pitch to the shipper to bring them on and sign them on to start supplying us with loads, and then you've just created yourself a what? An acquisition shipper's account, so that you can now get 7.25% of all the revenue that comes from loads that are ran from that shipper on top of the money you get from booking loads. All right? Make sure you understand that. There's a difference between the two, okay? But we never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, give our DOT number or our MC number to another broker. That is a no-no. That will get us in trouble. That is the exact definition of double brokerage, which is a no-no. You don't do it. Not ever. So if you have people who are working for you, if you have people who are doing things to help you book loads, make sure that your people understand the difference between booking for a shipper and booking for a carrier, between booking for a broker and booking for a shipper. Make sure they understand those differences, okay? If you need to play it back for them, use this video. Have them to look at it. Play it back for them. If you need one of us to explain it to you, get in contact with me. We'll set up something where I can go over something with you and your people and make sure they understand it clearly, okay? Invite them to our sales training to make sure that they understand it completely, okay? And we'll make sure of that. All right. And that's right. Money coming and going. That's what Barbara Red just sent to us. And so when you're on these calls, and that's the type of approach you want to have. You want to be able to approach these people, and no matter how you're doing it, you want to be able to put yourself in a position to make money with them. So anytime you're talking to anybody, especially in this industry, about this business, if it's about booking a load, no matter who you're talking to, try to put yourself in a position to where they can say, oh, well, you can book loads for us. Oh, you got trucks that can run our loads. Oh, you got trucks that can run our broker loads. Yes, we do. Okay, because you can do both. You can broker and you can dispatch. Which also reminds me, we're starting to get a lot of calls. We're going to be putting our heads together to figure out. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to contact us and kind of engage us on this. We're going to be setting up something a little bit different. We're going to be setting up a way for where shippers and brokers can call you up and ask you all specifically. They can contact you all and ask you, because you all are going to have your own network of carriers that you're dispatching for. Okay? So make sure you keep a list of your carriers you dispatch for. Make sure you keep your own list, because remember, that's your book of business. Because when you decide to go off on your own, 6 months from now, 8 months from now, a year from now, you're taking that with you. That's your book of, that's not our book of business. That's your book of business. Okay? You're taking that business with you. You're taking your carriers with you. You're taking your shippers with you. Okay? Because we have people coming in all the time, and we're showing them how to build their book of business, so they're always going to be having to have their own shippers or whatever the case may be. So don't worry about us. Just know that anything that you're building now, your carriers and your shippers, that all goes with you when you decide to branch out on your own. And if you need help from us branching on your own, we will extend our services to help you get your bond, to help you get your insurance, to help you get your authority, and get you set up, and help you to get your software. All that stuff, we'll be more than glad to extend our help to help you out with that. But when you take off and you go, your shippers and your carriers are going with you. Now, with that in mind, we are trying to develop a way to where when carriers, when shippers call us, because we're starting to get some calls, because shippers are calling us, asking us, do we have trucks in certain areas? Now, they're calling us because they're under the impression that we are carriers, We are not a carrier, okay? We're not a carrier. We do not have a carrier's authority, okay? We do not have a carrier authority. We do not have our own asset trucks. However, each one of you do. Each one of you are independent freight agents, and you're independent dispatchers, which means what? You have a number of trucks that you are dispatching for. Y'all see where we're going with this. We're going to try and set up a separate website or a separate type of email that all of you will have access to. Preferably, it's probably going to be a website that you all have access to, and we're going to have all you all listed by your extension. And we are going to have to find a way to list your trucks that you're dispatching for underneath your name. So when they pull up you, they can pull up all the trucks you have, and then we're going to try and figure out a way for you to go in and be able to post your locations of your trucks. Now, I think we can do that on the load boards. I think you all right now can go to the load boards, and you can post your trucks on the load boards. Okay? And that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start having you all go to the load boards and post your trucks on the load boards and where they are. The reason why is this. So other carriers and other brokers and other shippers can log into the load boards, and when they're looking for trucks, if one of your trucks that you're dispatching for is near one of their loads, guess what? it's going to pull up just like it does here, okay? Because these are our loads right here, okay? And this is 123 load board. This is one of our loads in Jasper, Alabama, okay? If we click on that, what do we get? We get loads that pull up, okay? We get loads that pull up. By the way, about this time of the day is a good time of the day to start calling trucks. Why? Because look at all these loads parked around this. Look at all these trucks parked around this load. Because remember I told y'all, you know, there are certain times of the day when the truck stops are kind of full with trucks that are just sitting there waiting for loads. Okay, trucks that are empty, they're parked right now. They're just sitting out there chilling. So if you want to be calling trucks, now's the time to start calling trucks. But this is how we find trucks for the loads that we have. All these loads here, as everyone can see, some of you new people need to be paying attention to this very closely. These are our loads that we have booked. These are our loads that we have under contract. These are our contracted loads that we have from a shipper, okay? So when you go to the load board, you can go to the load board. Let's start over here so I can show you exactly how you get to this point. When you go to 123 load board, which is one of the load boards that we give you access to, okay? We're going to go back to the beginning here. There we go. When you go to 123 load board, it's going to have load search. It has truck locator. You want to go over here to truck locator, okay? When you log in, you go to truck locator. All right, it's going to pull up our loads. We post our loads every day. Right now, we have 22 loads posted on 123 load board, okay? You're going to click here on one of our loads. All right, when you click on it, it is going to pull up the trucks that are within a 75-mile radius of that load, because that's what we have programmed into our system, to find trucks within the 75-mile radius. This is where our load is. It tells you where our load is, and it also tells you where that load has to go. Wow, that's a long load right there. It tells you where that load has to go. All right, it goes from Alabama all up to Maryland. Okay? Now, it also shows you all the trucks that have made themselves available and marked themselves empty, and they are looking for a load leaving out of this area. So all you've got to do is find the truck. You click on it. It pulls it up. It tells you what their name of the truck company is. Gives you their phone number, and tells you what type of truck it is. It's only going to show you trucks that match your load. These are flatbed loads, so it's only going to show you flatbed trucks. So you call that trucker up. You say, hey, I see you sitting right there in Jasper, Alabama. We've got a load that's leaving out of there tomorrow. It's going up to Maryland. It's paying X amount of money. And do you want it? That driver's going to say yes, no, maybe so, whatever the case may be. No matter what he says, yes, no, or maybe so, guess what? You're still going to book him a load, because here's what's going to happen. If he says yes, great. You call up Barbara. You find the load. You call up Barbara, who is the with Tampa International, who we get that load from, and you're going to say, hey, I got a guy who wants to bring your load. You book that load. Then you contact us by sending us an email to where? dispatch@rbbstransport.com. And then you do what? You give us what? The trucker's information, your information, and Barbara's information. Give everybody's information who's involved with that load. Let us know to expect that confirmation sheet. So when the confirmation sheet comes over, all we got to do is call that trucker up. Say, hey, we just got your confirmation up. Send it over to you right now. I need you to sign it. Send it back over to them. They sign it. Send it back over to us. We send it over to the carrier. I'm sorry. We send it over to the shipper or the broker, whoever is booked through. We dispatch that load. Simple as that. When the load gets dropped and the BOL comes in, right? If you get notified by the carrier, which we will get notified that the BOLs, the load has been dropped, we'll take that BOL, then we'll send it over to the shipper, or we'll send it over to the broker with that BOL. We'll send it over to them so that they can go in what? Process the pay when they decide to pay the carrier. When they pay the carrier, if it's one of our brokered loads, they're going to pay TBS, and TBS is going to pay us immediately following that very next week. Why? Because we're sitting in BOLs. BOL gets in by Friday. TBS pays us on all BOLs by the following Friday that were sent in by the Friday before. So if the BOL, bill of landing, that's your receipt for dropping off the load, If those receipts are in by Friday at 3 p.m., TBS will have all checks cut, all money paid for that load, for those loads by the following Friday. Okay? When you qualify for your first commission, you will receive a request for payment form from TBS on how you want to get paid: direct deposit, com data, EFS, or check in the mail. That's when you decide, that's when you put down how you want to get paid. And whatever you put down, that's how they're going to pay you from here on out. That is on brokered loads. That's on brokered loads only. You're paid differently on dispatch loads. On dispatch loads, when you do a dispatch load, you are going to send out your dispatch. We are going to confirm the load. We're going to send over the confirmation sheet. They're going to sign it. They're going to send it back. We're going to send them in. We're going to dispatch them on the load. When they drop that load, they're going to send in their BOL. Everything goes exactly the same up until the point in time to get paid. They're going to send us the BOL. We're going to take that BOL. We're going to send it over to the broker. The broker is going to process it, and the broker is going to pay that carrier directly. Now, here's the thing that's different. When the broker, when they first get their first confirmation sheet, when the broker sends over the confirmation sheet, when we send it over to the carrier to get signed, we also send them an invoice from our Square account. And the invoice goes straight from our Square account with them along with the confirmation sheet. Because we know how much the load is paying, so we go ahead and send them an invoice saying this is what you owe us when that load gets paid on. All right? So now, when they pay, when the broker pays the carrier, the broker is going to send us the pay sheet, which means we know when the carrier gets paid. Why? Because we're processing the load for them. So we know when the carrier gets paid. So when the broker sends over the pay to the carrier, we know that the carrier has just gotten paid. So guess what we do? We send them an electronic invoice by email or by text message that BOL is now, or that invoice is now due, which means they can now pay it. All they've got to do is click on it and pay it with a debit or credit card. They click it, they pay with a debit or credit card. It goes right into our Square account. We in turn then send you your half, because you get 50% of that fee, because you get half of our broker's fee. If the fee was $200, that's $100 that's going to you. We will send you that through our Cash Me app. You will receive a text and an email, that says you have money, and it will tell you what it's for. All you got to do is click on it and deposit it into whatever account you want to deposit it in. If you don't have a Cash Me app at that time, it'll tell you download the Cash Me app. You can download it. It takes about 30 seconds. You download it, and then you deposit the money to whatever account you want to deposit in. Deposit it to your debit card account, deposit it to your bank account. However you want to receive it, you deposit your money. That's how we pay you on the dispatch loads. Now, if you want to receive your dispatch load by check, shoot us an email, say I want to receive it by check, and we'll send you a check. It's going to take a while, so don't keep calling and saying, where's my check? Because you can get it quicker if you just download the app and you get paid instantaneously. So if you request to be paid by check, please don't keep calling us saying, where's my check? If your check is like 2 or 3 days past the date that you think you're supposed to be getting it. Because remember, you elected to have it sent by mail, and we do not control the postal service. Okay? All right. Randy just asked us a question. Randy just asked us a question. Let's see what Randy asked here. Come on. Here we go. Randy just asked a question. Randy said, will the driver get in trouble for not paying? Yes, drivers do. The carriers get in trouble if they don't pay, just like we get in trouble if we don't pay. Because we can report them to the Federal Motor Carrier Association. We can report them to the bond service. We can report them to DOT. There's a number of avenues that we report them to. Not only that, we are owned by a law firm. As Mr. Courtney Phoenix would tell you, that is a very, very advantageous position that we have, because we are owned by a law firm. Because Mr. Courtney Phoenix, he had a guy he was dispatching before. He had 4 loads. The guy owed us $845. He was taking his time with paying us. He got paid on the load 3 weeks before. He paid on the load like 3 weeks ago. We've been sending him invoice reminder after invoice reminder. Like he said, yeah, I'm going to get to it. When it got close to being 30 days late, we turned it over to our law firm, the people who own our company. They then drafted him a nice letter a legal letter, you know, and they sent it to him, and they contacted him. The next day, guess what? He paid us. Okay? That's the power of being owned by a law firm. Now, we can't really get them involved until someone is close to 30 days to delinquent on a pay. Because legally, we can't send them any type of legal request for payment for any type of collection until they hit that 30-day mark. Okay? So, but rest assured, we have the capabilities to legally go after someone if we need to get our money. Okay? And Courtney Phoenix will attest to that anytime. If he's on here, he'll tell you right away, yeah, that's how it happens. And he got his money, we got our money. Everything works just where it's supposed to work. All right? But going back to this devil broker thing, make sure that anybody who you have working for you understands the difference between dispatching, putting out a dispatch unit and doing a broker unit. Do not ever, repeat this again, do not ever give a broker our MC number or DOT number, because we are brokers. And that is the express definition of devil broker, so don't do it. Okay? If you are running a dispatch, give them the MC number and the DOT number of the carrier, and that's how you stay out of trouble with that. All right. Any questions on that part of it? Anybody have any questions on that part of it? I'm glad I answered your question, Ms. Barbara Red. Got that question answered? All right. Okay. Let's go over some quick load board training here real quick. As you all can see, this is 1, 2, 3 load board. Okay? This is 1, 2, 3 load board. Leave it to some of this other stuff here. This is 1, 2, 3 load board, and this is Trucker's Path. These are two of the load boards that we have. We also have another one called All Freight Connect. You can join that one too. And I also put out a thing on that Mr. Courtney Phoenix helped us with. Let me find it here. We put out something on 40, I think it was almost 40 free load boards. Let me find it for you all real quick. It was actually put on our group chat. By the way, if you're not part of our group chat, shoot me a text or an email or something telling me that you're not part of our group chat, and we will add you to our group chat. Hold on here. Let me find that in our group chat. We sent over that information on those. Right. Give me a second and find it for you. Find it for you. This is how you need that elevator music. No, dun 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 dun. I'm not very good at the elevator music playback, so we'll kind of just leave that alone for right now. Y'all just kind of have to deal with this silence. Let's see here. Come on. We spent a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Where is those load boards? I know we sent out a bunch of about 50 different free load boards. I'm gonna find it here a second. But if you go to our group chat, you'll be able to find it. I'm gonna keep searching it. I know it's in here because I put it out. I didn't realize it was this far back. We got a lot of stuff on our group chat. Here, let me try this. Let me find Courtney, because Courtney sent it to me. Might be an easier way to do it this way. Find what Courtney sent, and then, and look at that. There it is. See how simple that was? All right. All right. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. All right. These are it's 901 free load boards for truckers. Okay. 901 free load boards for truckers. Okay. Let me pull it up for you all, and I'm going to shoot it to you all in the text here in just a second. Copy. All right. It's 901 free load boards. And I'm going to shoot it to you all right now. And this is it. You all can copy this. You all can copy that and use that. These are 901 free load boards. Now, these load boards are usually, and these are what's called private load boards, too. These are load boards that are direct load boards to the actual shippers. These are shippers that you can actually go to, look at their loads, and book those directly straight with them. So, take advantage of this. There's a lot of loads, a lot of load boards. So, if you all have this, I just sent it out to all of you all. I'm going to send it out to you all in an email blast too, and I'm going to repost it onto the group chat to make sure that you all can access it. Because this is very good. Because if you're looking at these load boards, you can go to some of these load boards and you can book loads directly from the shipper, and that's where you get your good pay and freight at. Here's one. They got 46 loads up to date. Total number of new loads, there are 23 new loads. And this is from Admiral Needs team, or whatever it is. But they got them on here. They've got, where they're picking up, where they're going. If you need the details, all the details over here. You can pretty much call them up, I think, and get the pay or the information on it. Gives you all the information here. Miles, you can call them up and kind of, what I like about these private load boards, you can call them up and you kind of negotiate the pay. See, now you can get into the show on negotiating. So, when you call them up, I said, all right, Barbara says, when can we get the load board login information? I need to be added to the group chat. It is on Facebook. All right. Yeah. The load board information is on the group chat, and send me a link, send me a message so I can take that, and then from that I can add you right into the group chat. Go to RBBS Transport LLC on Facebook, shoot me a message, or just look me up, Calvin Butler, shoot me a message, and I'll add you onto the group chat. But the login information is in our group chat. I'm going to repost all that today. I'll repost it today, all the login information from both for all the load boards and the username and the passwords for you all to be able to log in. These load boards, however, are free load boards. You all can go into these load boards, and grab those at your leisure. And this is a very good source right here. I'm just kind of randomly clicking on them just to give you an idea of what they look like. You gotta do your plug-in, allow and remember. We're gonna plug them in here so that you can. Yeah, here we go. I like this because they give you the map, inbound and outbound, all those. Like they got any loads coming out of Alabama, Arkansas, anything like that. But they've got it where you can kind of put in what you're looking for, destination city, things like that. No loads to show on them right now. They don't have any loads to show. Let's look at this lumber company. And I'm just kind of going through it just to give y'all an idea. But with 901 board, that's a lot of load boards. That's a lot of load boards. See what they've got here. A lot of these you do price quotes. You can call them up. You can do your price quotes. But this is a good source to go in and find loads for your carriers. Okay. All right. But all right, Reed, I just got your message. I'll add you in as soon as we finish this. All right, great. But that's how you're going to be able to, utilize this and take advantage of it, because those are some great ways to find some good high-paying freight, especially when you get ones that you can go in and you can negotiate with them and kind of, get and drive those rates up. Okay. Now, as far as finding loads onto the load boards, all right, here's what we got. I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna go over this real quick so I can show y'all how to actually do this. All right. As you mentioned before, this is 123 load board. This is one of the load boards that we use. This is 123 load board. When you go on here, our trucks will be posted in the Find the Truck section. If you're looking for a truck for our load, for our posted load, this is how you do it. You come over here, you find one of our loads, You click on it. It is going to pull up the trucks that are empty and available for that load. It's going to tell you where they are in relation to our load, which is over here on the right in this little circle area here. It's going to pull up the number of trucks that are marked themselves available for this load. You don't have very many that are marked themselves available for this load, but you have, what, 5 trucks, okay? All you got to do is click on one of those trucks, and it pulls it up and tells you who they are, and you call them up, and you ask them, do they want that load? You tell them where it's picking up at, you tell them where it's going, you tell them how much it pays. How do you find out how much it pays? Because these are the loads that we send you all every morning. Because this is these loads right here. As you can see here, there's that Jasper, Alabama load right there to Baltimore, Maryland, 789 miles. It's paying $1,600. That's how you find out how much it's paid. These are the exact same loads. The exact same load. Okay? So you look on your sheet, you find them on the load board, and then you go back and you find them on your sheet. They're the exact same loads. Okay? There's that Jasper, Alabama load again. There it is right there. You know how much it's paying, tells you where it's going, exact same load. That's how you find, that's how you correlate between what we have and the trucks out there that are looking for those loads. So you call that truck driver says, nah, I don't want that load. Okay, why not? It's not paying enough, or it's not going to where I want it to go. All right, where you trying to go to? I'm trying to go to such and such. All right, so now all you got to do is what? Okay, and you know his DOT number. Why? Because when you pull him up, it tells you who he is. You got his number right there. You got his DOT number. All right, great. You know where he's at. You know what company it is. So okay, we say, well, great. I can find you. What are we looking for? All right. He says, okay, great. Then you go over to where? The home. Click out of that truck locator, and you're gonna go over find him a load. You're gonna do a load search. This is real simple. You're gonna do a load search. Why? Because you have his permission. You have his permission to go find him a load. Because you just spoke with him, and you told him I can find you any kind of load you want. He said, okay, great. So you go and now you have his permission to find him a load. Now you're laying the groundwork to what? To bring him on as a client. Because this is how you build your book of business. Okay? Now because you're laying the groundwork now to bring him on as a dispatch client. Because you're going to be dispatching for this guy. Because essentially that's what you're doing now. Now you're looking for him load. You know he is in Jasper, Alabama. So you just put in Jasper, Alabama. So you know that's where he is. Right? If it pull it up here. This thing here won't Jasper, Alabama. And let's say let's say he says that he wants to go to Texas. Okay? Let's pull up a map. Let's say he wants to go to Texas. He says, I don't care, just anywhere in Texas. I'm trying to go to Texas. Computer's working slow here today for some reason, people. Probably the weather. But let's say he wants to go to Texas. Let's look up a city. Let's just say Dallas. All right, he wants to go to Dallas, Texas. Let's say he's going from Jasper, Alabama. And say he has a flatbed. He has a flatbed. And let's say he wants to leave on tomorrow, Friday. He wants to get out of here. He's trying to get home for the weekend. Okay? You click search. Look at all these loads leaving from around Jasper, Alabama, going to where? Dallas, somewhere around close to Dallas, Texas. There's one from Door, Alabama, only 12 miles away, 12 miles away, 12 miles away, 12 miles away, going to Hamilton, Texas, which is only 27 miles away from Dallas. So that'd be perfect for him. So you find him a load, you pull it up, you say, this is what I got, you give him a rundown of the loads you want. He says, well, I want that one from Fayette, Alabama, going to Irving, Texas. Okay? If he wants that one, great. You call up the broker, because you know here it's paying $1,200. It's going 631 miles. It already has the information in there. You know it's from Trek Transportation, right? You just got their phone number, and we can call them up. Now, if your driver says, I like that load, I want that load, All you got to do then is say, great, let me shoot you over our dispatch agreement. I need you to look up our dispatch agreement. We get 10% when you get paid. Look over it, sign it, send it back to me, and we go ahead and get you dispatched, and I'll keep you running from here on out. What have you just done? You have just added a client. You just added to your book of business. You just booked a load that's going to pay $120 because it's paying what? $1,200 is the fee. You're getting 10%. That's $120. That means 60 for you, 60 for us. And you just added a client to your book of business. So now all you got to do from here on out is what? Keep that driver moving. Keep finding him loads, and you'll keep getting paid. People, that is how simple it is to build your book of business. That's how easy it is to operate on the load boards. Okay? That's how easy it is to operate on the load boards. Okay? Because our loads that we have gives us a way to bait the drivers in. I tell everybody all the time, you're not going to earn a living from the loads that we give you every day. That's not what those loads are really for. You can book them, but chances of you booking those loads are going to be very slim. But what those loads do is they give you access to the load board. They give you a way to throw the bait out there to catch those drivers and carriers that are looking for loads, and then you can flip them over and sign them up to a dispatch agreement, and then you start booking them loads, and then when you get a brokered load that is running their way, you can turn them onto that load as well too. This is how you make real money booking real freight. This is how it's done. Okay? And it's not that hard. It's actually pretty simple if you just follow the process. Okay? So the process being what? The process being what? The process being finding the trucks on the find the truck area of the load board. And you go to load board. First thing you do is you go to find the truck. Go to truck locator. Okay? Now, in this truck locator, we have 22 loads that are on here. We have 22 contracted loads. You have an average of 6 to 12 trucks that are around each one of our loads. So if you've got an average, let's say an average of 10 trucks and 22 loads, if you've got 10 trucks, well, if you got 22, if you got 22 loads and you got an average of 10 trucks around each load, how many prospects do they give you each day that you can call on? That's a target rich, and all these trucks are empty, looking for loads. So you mean to tell me it's hard for you to find trucks that want to run loads? Not using this system, it's not. It's not hard at all. Because if you've got 22 loads, and you got an average of 10 trucks per load, that gives you 220 trucks that you can call on any given day. 220 prospects for you to call and try and book loads. Now you can't. Look, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you. I don't care if you. I don't care if you. If you can't sell yourself. If you can't sell yourself, you can't tell me that if you call 220 trucks that are empty and waiting for a load, and you have the ability to find them loads right there on the spot, that you're not going to book, what, 4 or 5 of them bad boys a day, or at least 2 a day. I mean, come on, because if you don't, you're not trying. You're really not trying. Okay, because it is really that simple. If you follow the steps, it is really just that simple. It's not hard to make money in this business using these steps. And if you keep repeating that process day in and day out, you continue to build your book of business. This is how Ms. Marcus does it. Look, she's got what? I mean, she's probably got 10, 12. I think she's got about 12 carriers that she signed on that she's looking for loads for right now. Okay? Why? Because she consistently does this and she does it the right way. And they consistently call these truck drivers, and they consistently, get them signed on. Somehow or another, she's getting them signed on. Whether they want a load right then or not, but she's getting them to do those dispatch agreements, because she's definitely sending them in. Okay? She's definitely getting them sent in. And you all can do the exact same thing. But this is how you make money booking these loads. Okay? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Okay? All right. Any questions on how to book a load from 123 load board. How to find trucks for our loads and find loads for those trucks on the load board. Any questions? If you have a question, unmute yourself, ask the question. Randy, all right, where will, I guess we get the dispatch agreement from? Get it from our website, RBBStransport.com. It's in that, it's on our website, RBBStransport.com. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you right now. RBBStransport.com is our carrier site, our broker's agreement, our carrier agreement, our dispatch agreement. All that stuff is right there. Hold on, I went to the wrong page here. Why I sent me to RBBS net on what that was. Somebody else's website. But you go to the About Us page, as you see right here, and there it is, dispatch agreement. Pull it up, pull it right up. Blase, 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 and there you go. And this is our dispatch agreement. Okay? You can pull this up, download it, send it to them, or you can send the carrier directly to our website and have them to pull it up themselves. And they send it back to where? Like you see here, everything it tells them right here. And they email it back to dispatch@rbbstransport.com. Everything comes back to dispatch@rbbstransport.com. Okay? So, matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to send this to you all right now. Copy link location. There is the dispatch agreement. Everybody grab it. Everybody save it. Everybody hang on to it, because you're going to be using it a lot. That's your money maker. Okay, you're going to use that a lot. That's how you're going to make money, with that dispatch agreement. Okay, I just sent it out to everybody. Everybody got it in the little message thing. You should have it. I'll also be sending it back out on our in the group email blast tonight, and it will be posted on our, matter of fact, it's being posted now on our group chat. I'm posting it now on our group chat. We're going to have, and there it is right there on our group chat. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Hold on here. Barbara just said, I work for a shipper. I know the brokers they use. I am doing this business with my son, and he is signed up with RBBS. How do I find out how the brokers are posting the loads? Okay, what do you mean? Because you kind of lost me there. What do you mean, how do you find out how the brokers are posting the loads? You mean our brokers, or just brokers in general, or what? Okay, if you work for a shipper, I know the brokers they use. I'm doing, okay, blah, 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 blah. If you work for a shipper, you're not really concerned with how the brokers are posting loads. The other thing I can think of is that you would have to either contact that shipper. If you work for, because if you work for a shipper, why not just why not just have your son? Why not just talk to the shipper and have them to sign a contract with your son? Have them to sign a broker. Have them to sign up and become one of our shippers. That's the answer to your question right there. Because if you sign them up to become one of our shippers, that means we're going to be getting what? We're going to be getting the loads every day. Which means the loads are going to be posted on our social media load board. They're going to be sent out to all our carriers. Your son is going to be there. He's going to be the one who has that account. So every time a load gets booked, whether he booked it or not, He's going to get his money on. He's going to get 7.25% from all those booked from that account. Plus the ones that he booked himself, he's going to get 50% of the load fee. So, I mean, that's the answer to your question right there. Problem solved. Okay, sign them up. Sign them up, and let them become one of your shippers, and then that becomes his book of business. They now add it to his book of business. So when he's ready to move on to greener pastures, he takes that with him. Okay? All right. Great. All right. She understands it. She'll work on that from her end. All right. That's how you, but that's what you want to do in this business. You want to use your contacts. If you have contacts with shippers already, reach out to them. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know that you have trucks that can run their loads. And if you already have a familiarity with them, use that to your advantage to get them signed on. And just create business for yourself. Now, on truckloads, let's move on to truckloads. Truckloads have something similar. It's pretty much the same thing as 1, 2, 3 load boards. It's a little bit different. On truckloads, immediately when you go to truckloads and you log in, it's going to take you to our loads. You're going to take you to the loads that we have posted on truckloads. And they're the same loads that we have posted on 1, 2, 3. Okay? Exact same loads. All right? So they're going to take you to our truckloads, and they're the same loads that you have on 1, 2, 3. All right? But truckloads has it displayed just a little bit differently. On truckloads, you can look for your loads, you can do a truck search, or you can do GPS tracking. Okay? Now, these are our loads. It lets you know how many trucks, how many carriers view or brokers view our loads. Okay? Right here it says 3 people view this load right here. You click on this, and it should tell you which 3 people view those loads. Let me click on it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is right over. Details. Got them right over there. And then the same thing, if you click on one person viewed that load, it should tell you who that one person is. There it is over there. It tells you what that one person is. 6 people viewed this load. It should tell you which 6 people viewed that load. All right, and it tells you who they are. It tells you if they were gives you the information. Be Safe Transport. It tells you their phone numbers and whatnot. All right. Now, if you want to find trucks, you click where it says truck search. You can pull up pretty much kind of like the same thing that we had on 1, 2, 3. It's just displayed a little bit differently. I like it on 1, 2, 3. I like that display better. So the way it's set up over here. Let's say look at this load right here from a flatbed load. All right, A1 trucking. All right, look at that load right there. It tells you, see the little circles here. It tells you what trucks are near the load. You can pull it up. It kind of pulls it up over here again. It tells you what trucks are near the load. This is okay. I personally prefer the 1, 2, 3. That's just me. That's what I prefer that one because it's a little bit easier to follow, in my opinion. Okay, that's the way I see it. But if this one is better for you, jump right on it. But we have both of them there, and they both pretty much do the same thing. Just that one just gives you a little bit better way of doing it, and with this one, it's easier to go from. It's easier. On 1, 2, 3, it's easier to go from brokering to dispatching because you can easily go between the two. Because the thing about truckloads is this: when you go to truckloads, you can't really just go and just look for loads unless you log out. Now, if you log out, you can look for loads. These are our loads. Now, if you want to look for someone else's loads, it's not going to really help you look for someone else's loads unless you log out of the system, you log out, and then you just look for loads as a truck driver and not on the okay? But they're both pretty good load boards. I just prefer to use 1, 2, 3 because it's easier. It makes more sense. I like it better. but truckloads is pretty good too. Okay. Any questions on finding loads? On finding loads? On finding trucks? No questions on finding loads. No questions on finding trucks. Okay. We are going to be working on a way to have the brokers and shippers to contact you all, and you all will be able to, and when they contact you all are going to start getting phone calls, and they're going to be asking you all, do you have a truck in such and such place? I've got a load in such and such. How many trucks, or do you have any trucks that are available to run those loads? I think that it will help you all book more loads. I think that'll give you all more prospects. So we're going to work on a way of getting those phone numbers. So we get a lot of those calls. We get those calls every day. And right now, we just have to send them over to one of you all. But I want to make it more fair. I want to make it a fair process to where all of you have the same opportunity to get those same calls. So we're going to be putting together some stuff to try and put together either a website or another division of the website to where all of you all will be listed, and then that way they can go and pull it up and they can just call you all, and you all always have the same opportunity to get those calls. Any questions from anyone? Anybody have any questions? Wow, no one has any questions? I must be getting better and better at this every week. Okay. Other than that, if no one has any questions, we're gonna call this a day. I've got to get this toothache medicine back in because it's really driving me crazy right now. I know you all don't see it, but it's driving me crazy. But anyway, I appreciate everyone for logging in. I appreciate you all tuning in to today's training. Like always, we try to make sure that we give you all the information that you all need to be able to book freight, to be able to make money. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on Facebook. We have group chats. You all can tune in and ask questions amongst each other. That is actually the best way to find the answers you need. Ask each other, because you all are all in the group chat. Some people are there who are more experienced, and if you ask them first, you'll probably find the answers you need. If you need to ask me anything, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, call me up on the phone number. I am not hard to find. I'm very easy to find and to get a hold of. Again, I thank you all for tuning in to our Earn While You Learn freight brokering training on with RBBS Transport LLC and the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. I'll catch you all back here next week, next Thursday, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same back channel, same back time. Thanks again. Y'all have a nice day.